Most people's thermostats are set to threat mode. Every little stressor in life, the traffic, the email, the difficult conversation triggers this alarm. And once the alarm goes off, everything shuts down. Creativity, gone. Problem solving, gone. Patience, gone. You are just in survival mode and you are trying to get through the day just to survive. But movement recalibrates that thermostat. It teaches your nervous system that stress is manageable, that discomfort is only temporary, that you can handle hard things. And every time you hold a challenging position, you push through fatigue, you try something that scares you, you are training your nervous system to stay regulated under pressure, to not panic, to not shut down, to adapt. And that is what changes you permanently. Not just in the gym, not just in the way that you look, not just in how strong or healthy you feel, but in the way that you exist. Because you are designed to move in every way, on every plane, against resistance, under pressure, all the time. You were built to challenge, to adapt, to evolve. And when you do, that's when you start responding instead of reacting, acting instead of waiting, moving forward instead of freezing, trusting instead of fearing. That is why movement is the catalyst. Let's dive into this a little deeper, because this isn't woo-woo, this is hard science. Every time that you move physically, whether that's crawling, hanging, squatting, twisting, jumping, sprinting, wrestling, dancing, everything that I ever talk about, you activate the prefrontal cortex and the cerebellum. Now, these regions of your brain govern your coordination, your focus, and your decision making. That means movement doesn't just train your body, it completely rewires your brain. It builds new neural pathways. That's why skill training and skill development is so crucial to have within your practice. Let me break this down with a real example. You are learning to handstand. At first, you can't even kick up. You're clumsy, you're uncoordinated, you're afraid of falling, but you keep practicing. And slowly, your brain starts to map the movement together. It learns how to engage your shoulders, it learns how to stabilize your core, it learns how to find balance and equilibrium. So you're not just building strength, you are building intelligence in your body. And here's what's incredible. That same neuroplasticity, that same ability to learn, adapt, and build new pathways transfers to everything else in your life. Learning a new skill at work, your brain already knows how to do hard things. Facing a difficult conversation, well, your body already knows how to stay calm under pressure. Starting a new project, you already have proof that you can be bad at something and get better at it. Movement strengthens the communication between body and mind. It allows you to control your body through your mind, to not give up, to handle stress, to push through stress. It sharpens your ability to plan, to think, and to adapt, which means that you become a sharper, more aware, more capable and resilient human being. Now let's talk about the chemistry. When you move, your body releases BDNF, which is known as brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Think of this as a fertilizer for your brain. It improves learning, memory, creativity, awareness, and resilience to stress. You boost dopamine, which is your drive to take action. You boost serotonin, which is your balance and your stability. You awaken endorphins, which are your inner pharmacy of energy, calm, and zest for life. But here's what most people don't realize. These aren't just feel-good chemicals. They are biological foundations of confidence, motivation, and resilience. Think about it like this. Dopamine is your do-it chemical. Low dopamine, well, you can't start anything. You procrastinate, you lack drive. But when you move, especially when you do something challenging, dopamine floods your system. Suddenly, taking action doesn't feel hard anymore. It feels natural. Serotonin is your I'm okay chemical. If you have low serotonin, you feel anxious, unstable, and like something is always wrong. But movement, consistent daily movement, regulates serotonin. So then you feel more grounded, more stable, more at peace. Endorphins are your I can handle this chemicals. They are literally your body's painkillers. They are what allow you to push through discomfort, to keep going when things get hard. And the more that you move, the more access that you have to them. So when people say that movement changes everything, it's not just a metaphor, it's actually biochemistry, it's neuroplasticity in real time. The body moves, the brain adapts, the identity evolves. Because at the end of the day, life is movement, and you as a human being must evolve alongside it through movement. And here's the beautiful part. You don't have to believe in any of this for it to work. Biology doesn't care about your doubts, your moods, or your excuses. The only thing it does is respond to action. Now let's look at the people who thrive, the people who truly thrive in life. Not the ones who appear successful on the surface, but the ones who radiate energy, the ones who ooze confidence, presence, direction, focus, awareness, resilience. You know the people I'm talking about. These people are constantly in motion. They train, they walk, they surf, they ride their bike, they dance, they play, they explore. These people are always working on ways to improve their quality of life, physically and mentally. They express themselves through movement one way or another. They're not chasing perfection, they're not chasing goals for vanity, they are chasing connection, both to themselves and to the world around them. And here's what I have noticed. These people don't wait for motivation. They don't wait to feel like it. They move first and everything else follows after that. Because movement gives them momentum. Movement creates the clarity that they need. Clarity in turn creates action. Action creates progress. And that is the chain of reaction. So let me give you some practical examples of this chain reaction. You're stuck on a problem at work. You've been staring at your screen for an hour and nothing is coming to you. You're frustrated, tired, mentally blocked. What do most people do in this situation? They keep staring, they keep forcing it, they keep banging their head against the wall. What do the movers do? Well, they get up, they walk, they move their body, and within minutes the answers come. Not because they tried harder to think, but because they got out of their head and into their body. Movement clears the mental fog. It gives your brain space to process, to connect the dots, to see solutions that you couldn't see when you were stuck. Here's another one. You're feeling anxious about a difficult conversation that you need to have with someone. And you're rehearsing this over and over in your head, playing out every worst case scenario. What do most people do? They keep thinking about it. They keep spiraling. What do movers do? They go out and they train, they move, they get their body into a regulated state. And then when they have that conversation, they're calm, they're cool, they're collected, they're present, they're clear. Not because they are naturally calm people, but because they have regulated their nervous system first. And honestly, you start to see life differently. You stop overanalyzing, you stop hesitating, you stop fearing, you stop questioning everything. You don't bargain with yourself anymore about whether you feel like it or not. Movement kills indecision. Movement kills fear. Movement kills the paralysis that keeps most people stuck in theory. And when you move, you remember what it feels like to be alive, to be present, to be aware, to be grateful, to be connected. Not lost in the doom scroll, not overthinking, not drifting, but actually living. Living and thriving, that's what makes movers dangerous, because they are conscious, they are awake, they are fully here. And you know the thing that nobody actually talks about? You don't need to become an athlete. You don't need to train for hours on end. You don't need to be good at anything. You just need to move your body. Move it every single day, even if it's just 5 minutes on the floor. But you need to learn how to move in a way that your body is craving for. Because the movement itself is the signal to your nervous system that says, we're not stuck, we're not broken, we're not afraid, we are capable, we are alive. And once that signal gets through, everything else starts to shift. So no, movement won't magically fix your career, your relationships, your past, or your pain. But it will give you that one thing that it can. A body and a mind that is capable of change, capable of handling stress, capable of pushing through life, capable of failing 10 times and standing up an 11th time. And not just standing, but coming back stronger. Every transformation begins with motion. The body moves, the nervous system adapts, the mind follows, and life transforms. But none of that happens by thinking about it. You have to move physically. You have to train your body to be strong, resilient, aware, and alive. You cannot think your way into a new identity. You have to move your way into one. You really have to embody it. Live the philosophy that you claim to believe in. Show up as the person that you say you want to be. When you look in the mirror, you should feel peace because the person staring back has kept their word. They showed up, they did the work, no matter how they felt. So here's exactly what I want you to do. Step 1, pick your non-negotiable. One movement every single day, no matter what it is. Maybe it's 5 minutes on the floor when you wake up. Maybe it's 5 minutes of squatting. Maybe it's 5 minutes of hanging from a pull-up bar every time that you walk past it. It could even be a 10-minute walk after lunch. Just pick one thing. Make it so easy that you can't say no. Step 2, track it. Not for motivation, not to judge yourself, but to build proof. Proof that you are somebody who keeps their word. Proof that you show up no matter what goes on in life. Proof that you are capable. Put an X on a calendar every day that you do it and watch the chain build. That visual proof will rewire your identity faster than any affirmation ever could. Step 3, add complexity only after consistency. Don't try to do everything at once. Don't jump into a complicated training program or a quick 30-day shred. Don't overhaul your entire life. Just do your one thing every day for 30 days. Once that's automatic, once it's part of who you are, then you can add more. Then you can go deeper. Then you can start to explore, but not before. Because consistency builds the foundation, and without a foundation, nothing is going to stick. If you're stuck, move. If you are tired, move. If you're lost in life, move. If you're afraid, move. Don't buy another book. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't look for permission. Just move.
Exercise, what actually happens in your brain? I spent a month and a half looking into it with the help of doctoral candidate Patrick LeCount, who happens to be researching the impact of exercise on ADHD. Scientifically speaking, when you exercise, there's basically a huge neurotransmitter party in your brain. During exercise, your body releases happy chemicals, aka endorphins. You may have heard of them. At the same time, exercise also boosts dopamine and norepinephrine, the same neurotransmitters that stimulant medication increases in order to help us focus. What? This all happens pretty quickly, which is why you tend to feel happier and productive for an hour or two after you work out. It's also why you might sleep better that night and not feel as stressed. But there's a long-term brain benefit too, and it's something you've probably never heard of. Exercise increases production of something called BDNF. BDNF is a protein that basically acts like fertilizer for the brain. How? It promotes neurogenesis, aka the creation of new brain cells. Yes, fellow nerds, when you exercise, you are literally growing your brain. Alright, I'm sold. What do I have to do? Well, technically research suggests that at least 30 minutes of moderate to high intensity cardio produces the most neurotransmitters in BDNF, but all exercise benefits ADHD brains. So do what's fun for you. Do whatever kind of exercise you like to do. If you don't like doing any kind of exercise, don't exercise. Just go do stuff you like to do that happens to involve moving your body. Swimming at night helps you relax before bed. Reward yourself. It doesn't have to be anything huge, but it's best if you work it right into your routine. Maybe you get to watch Netflix on your phone when you're running at the gym. Just track what you did, for how long, how enjoyable it was, and how it affected whatever it is you care about. In my case, I'm tracking sleep, focus, and stress. Especially stress. This will help you find what type and length of movement works best for your brain, not someone else's.
Start to move. Actually, we think, we're spending energy when we exercise, but it actually gives us more energy. Exercise is so good for your mitochondria. Why? Well, it boosts something called mitophagy. That's the clearance of these damaged mitochondria, and that optimizes and strengthens mitochondrial function. It combats aging and age-related diseases. So exercise is the best therapy for your mitochondria. It produces a release of something called exerkines, right? Those are cool. You've never heard of those before, right? They're signaling molecules that our tissues secrete in response to exercise. So when you exercise, you're producing these beneficial compounds called exerkines that have a positive influence on our biology, including making new mitochondria. So these exerkines help you make new mitochondria. Now, what kind of exercise should you do? There's all kinds, but you need all of them. Aerobic or cardio, high intensity interval training where you're doing like wind sprints, and strength training or resistance exercise are all really important for strengthening and improving the function of our mitochondria. And it also does a lot of other things, right? It boosts our muscle strength, it boosts our metabolism, our endurance, makes us be able to do more stuff. Exercise also a form of hormesis, which we talked about. That's a stress that doesn't kill you, that makes you stronger and more resilient. And it's great. And there's lots of other forms of hormesis that can help, including saunas, cold plunges. All that boosts our antioxidant systems. It increases glutathione, which is our master antioxidant that helps reduce inflammation. It also really protects our mitochondria from oxidative stress. It also increases NAD activity, which is really important. It's a longevity molecule involved in energy metabolism, in signaling all kinds of molecular processes, in DNA repair. And low levels of NAD are really associated with inflammation and aging. Now, exercise boosts NAD, which is good. And what else does NAD do? Now, NAD activates something called the sirtuins, which are part of the longevity switches that I wrote about in my book, Young Forever. Basically, a family of signaling proteins that creates more and better functioning mitochondria. So basically, everything that exercise does is great for your mitochondria, right? So it makes new mitochondria, it cleans up old mitochondria, makes your mitochondria work better, it improves NAD status in your body, it boosts your antioxidant system. So it's just all around a good thing. So what else can you do to help your mitochondria? Well, optimizing your nutrient levels and addressing deficiencies is really important. One of the biggest deficiencies is omega-3 fats. Probably 90% of us are deficient or insufficient. And so you want to be taking a high-quality fish oil supplement. My favorite is Omega-3 Rejuvenate from Big Bold Health. True, full transparency, I'm an advisor and an investor, but I did that because I think it's one of the most effective products out there in terms of omega-3s and how they process it. Antioxidants are helpful to take, including vitamin C, zinc, vitamin E, selenium. These can be all taken in a multivitamin. Also, you want the full spectrum of B vitamins: thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, B5, B6, biotin, folate, B12. These are all cofactors for making energy and supporting all the processes occurring in our mitochondria. And again, you can just take a multivitamin. Now, B vitamins are really high in animal protein, especially organ meats like liver, eggs, fish, leafy green vegetables. Now, if you're a vegetarian or vegan, you want to be careful. You have to supplement with a B complex. You're not going to get B12 from your food, and you're often nutrient deficient. Now, there's other nutrients that are important. Magnesium, I call that the relaxation mineral. It's really important for those who are under chronic stress because stress depletes magnesium. It can lead to burnout and adrenal dysfunction. And magnesium is great because you can get it in almonds, cashews, pumpkin seeds, lots of greens like spinach, kale, Swiss chard. You can get it in your avocados, even dark chocolate, and probiotics. Now, what else can be affecting your mitochondria that you can do something about? Well, stress. I mean, we all get it. We're all exposed to it. You can't get rid of it. It's around, but it's how you respond to stress, right? Stress is defined as the real or imagined threat to your body or ego. So a lot of it has to do with our perception.
I'm about to drop the number one hot tip on you, okay? I've lost 106 pounds. There I am. Still hot as hell. But morbidly obese, which is an issue, okay?
My entire life, I have struggled with my mental health. I have been hospitalized. I have seen psychiatrists, psychologists, doctors, counselors, therapists, support groups. And I want to tell you the thing that has helped me more than any of those things. You're going to hate it. It's walking outside almost every day. Okay, there's a quote I'm going to tell you. It's by a guy. A guy. His name is Hippocrates. Perhaps you've heard of him, okay? And the quote is, if you're in a bad mood, take a walk. If you're still in a bad mood, take another walk. And I co-sign that stamp of approval, okay? I have struggled my entire life with major clinical depression and chronic severe health anxiety. There was one point in my life where I was having a panic attack every single day. I took myself to the emergency room 7 times in 3 months because I thought I was dying. 2 years ago, I started walking every day, walking outside, walking to lose weight, but walking to help my mental health. And I have not had a panic attack in 6 months. This is not me saying that walking will cure every mental health problem. If you're having mental health issues, go to your primary care doctor, okay? Seek help, medical help. However, if you are struggling with depression and anxiety and you do not currently have a routine of movement, specifically scientifically proven outdoor walking, okay, please add it in. Add it in. I cannot tell you how much walking has changed my life. This is the version that I used to be, and now I wake up, I feel joy. I feel joy. Do I still feel anxious? Hell yeah, girl. But I haven't had a panic attack in 6 months. A real one where I thought I was dying. I haven't had one in 6 months. Walking has changed my life, and I used to make fun of bitches like me. They were like, oh, if you're sad, go for a walk. They were right. So annoying. I'm going to go for my walk because it's what's good for my mentality. It's what's good.
Whoa. Before you crash out on them kids, mom and dad, I need you to check in with yourself. Are you hydrated? Have you moved your body for at least 30 to 60 minutes today? Did you eat food within the past 3 to 4 hours? How was your sleep last night? Did you send back that work email? That's very important. Did you send your loved ones a text message or anything like that over the holidays? If you haven't done any of those things, I need you to tap in and do them right now, okay? Before you crash out on them kids, I know rage bait is always going to be there. They're going to leave socks on the floor. They're going to leave dishes dishes in the sink. They're gonna make messes. They're even gonna leave the backs off of the remote controller where it leaves the fucking batteries exposed. Yes, I know. It's fucking irritating. However, I need you to check in with me. Did you handle any of those things I just asked you about? If not, I need you to go take care of that before you crash out.